Hey, this is Manic Mike with another figure review, another one from my past. I bought when it was new. This is Billy Kidman, WCW, Bruisers line. I purchased this for multiple reasons. One, I was actually a very big fan of Kidman's in-ring working ability. He was amazing for the time. Today he would be a superstar. He even had a main event run against Hogan in WCW. And I believe he's still a producer for WWE, working back behind the scenes. Another big reason I purchased this figure is because he's local to me. He went to Parkland High School, which is only about 5 miles from me. So yeah, he grew up in my area, and not sure. There used to be a Wild Samoan training center, the Afuensika, in Allentown, Pennsylvania. They had a training center for years until they moved to, I think they moved to Hazleton, and then they moved to Florida once the Rock blew up and all of that. But yeah, they lived in Allentown. They trained wrestlers there. A lot of big wrestlers came out of that school. I'm guessing Kidman probably went to that school too, but I'm not sure offhand. But yeah, it was always cool having this big wrestling presence in my area. Back in the 70s and 80s, Allentown Agricultural Hall was one of WWE's, then WWF's primary taping venues. They taped in Allentown, they taped in New York. It's a handful of places, but they were in Allentown pretty much in the 70s and 80s, at least once a month, every other month, putting on a house show that was taped. And because of that, Allentown's had a lot of wrestlers come from here. The Nasty Boys, The Rock, of course. A lot of people, a lot of wrestlers from this area, because of the Samoans, and because it's being early WWF's stomping grounds for filming and stuff. And actually, Snuka, I remember these guys remember Jimmy Snuka, supposedly killed a woman in Allentown, and he was actually going to trial for that until he died. That case was a cold case. That reopened it, and they were actually going to try and throw him into jail when he had dementia, and then he passed away. But so big wrestling area. I'm a big wrestling fan. See, I love WCW. Kind of stopped watching probably the last year when Kidman got the different look and he was fighting against Hogan. I wasn't watching at the time, but I have watched since then some of those matches, and they were pretty good. Kidman, he was a generation early, a generation or two early. Today he'd be a superstar with his abilities. So, but he's still working behind the scenes. He was even married to who was it? Tori Wilson. He actually got to be married to Tori Wilson for a couple of years. So Kidman made good for himself. This figure, this face, get close up there. Doesn't look too bad. Before motion cap and all that stuff. I give this figure a C plus. The guy's look down. Face kind of looks like him. Bring it out here again so you see more. And of course they put him with the table. I don't think he actually used tables too often in WCW, but it's definitely an ECW staple, and he was in ECW before WCW. So this is the Billy Kidman. Let's quick look at the back. They give his stats there. What's it say? 5'11", 195 pounds. It's probably exaggerated a little bit. They like to exaggerate back in those days. He was probably closer to 5'9", 175 pounds, if I had to guess. Shooting Star Press. That's what he made famous. And he was one of the first in America, on American wrestling TV, to do it. And he did it very well. Collect them all. So we also got Kevin Nash, Bill Goldberg, Stevie Ray, Raven, who was Kidman was part of his flock, and Rey Mysterio Jr. And I think Rey Mysterio was part of Kidman's crew when they, what were they called? The New Blood? You know, at the tail end of WCW. I guess he could actually do a shooting star press. If you push on him, he will flip backwards. I'm not going to open this to find out. It's been sealed for probably over 25 years, and it's going to stay sealed until someone other than me owns it. But yeah, cool figure. Brings back memories. So yeah, let me know what you think about this Billy Kidman figure. There are a lot of these around. You know, he wasn't a big name back then. I imagine there weren't many of these printed. So maybe this is a collector's item. I don't know. But, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and comment if you enjoy this. Peace.